Welcome back to the channel where I'm playing a game called SkateRide, and it is a demo at this point. It is available for free. I will try to post a link, but it's a really cool game. It's an isometric semi 2D game that looks a lot like the kind of flash animations I used to do back in the day. Like, this is exactly the kind of game I would have made if I was able to. So it's really cool, and it's a lot deeper than you might think based on just seeing the graphics and everything. So I'm going to try to show you a little bit about how the game works. So, well, first, the reason I say it's semi 2D is because the character looks pretty clearly like it was made in 3D and then kind of saved down to 2D. It has a sprite sheet and everything, but you know, there's so many different like when you spin, you have to animate every trick in like a million different directions. So definitely don't blame them for going that route. But it still has a really cool graphical design to it. So let's talk about how the trick works. And sorry about all the Mongos. I don't think I have control over switching which foot I push with. So it just is what it is. All right, let's talk about the controls. You push with X, you ollie with A, and then you have to hit a button in the air before you land to actually land. Okay, so it's kind of like Thrasher had a system like that. And then Y can switch your stance, so you can get up to nollie. B will power slide, and you can also get off your board and kind of set things up. There's a little menu if you hit the back button. I'm playing on an Xbox controller. It's designed for an Xbox controller at this point. You can make a spawner, so you know, like if you wanted to come back, like a quick marker type of thing, you can move around in this mode. You can switch your stance and then unghost. So when you bail, it'll just put you into that mode most of the time. Ooh, front feeble, is that it? Pretty cool. The way that you do tricks is a little bit different. So on your right stick, you pick a direction. You can see in the bottom left, there's my stance symbol down there. And I will move the right stick around, and it's showing, well, I can't bail while I do that. And it's showing you different tricks. So this is kind of like pre-setting up for this trick. So this is gonna spin backside and toe side, so that should be like a varial kickflip, I think. If you tap the right bumper, you can make it spin harder. So this should be a 360 flip. Yeah. Okay. So this took me a little while to figure it out because I thought you had to like hold A to ollie and then do it, but then you're doing the A button and the right stick at the same time, which was kind of crazy. But no, you can pick the trick and then push and then do all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. To do spinning tricks is actually kind of weird though. So like, let's say I want to do a backside flip, okay? So I got a kickflip, a spin backside, but if you looked, well, let me try to actually land that because you can land that. There you go. If you look close, the board is not actually spinning. It was like a sex change. So to do an actual backside flip, you have to do a varial kickflip and spin backside. See, so that's kind of cool. Because it gives you more tricks without having to increase the control difficulty. So you can do like a hard flip, but your body spins backside and that kind of thing. So that was kind of interesting, and it gives you a little bit more strategy. Like you can't spin too much because the board won't be there, like that type of thing. So pretty cool. As far as the grinds, well, actually, let me try to show you a gap. Because the game, oh, didn't hit the landing button. The game does give you points for gaps, and there's like a little special meter and all kinds of stuff that I haven't really gotten into too much because I've just been focusing on trying to learn the controls. But if I'm able to clear that one of these days, you'll see that it'll have like gap number 2 or something like that on it. Yeah, gap number 2, and then there is like a little special meter or something, but so there's that. If you want to do grinds, it's kind of interesting. I'll see if I can just show you the controls real quick. Yeah, so when you first start, you get this screen, and then like this took me forever to understand what I'm actually doing here. But for the grinds, so you have grinds, which are X, B for Smith or Feeble, and Y for slides. And then with the triggers, you balance on the nose or the tail. So if you were to do a slide and then balance on the nose, in theory, hold on. The left stick controls a lot of stuff too, like zooming in and music track and all that kind of stuff. All right. If you were to hit slide and then also, oh, cool. All right, I wasn't expecting a blunt, but that's how you pick which exact trick you're doing. There's your no slide. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what else. I can't remember like if which is the nose and which is the tail switches in the switch stance or not. So sometimes I'm trying to do a 5-0 and I'll do a nose grind or whatever. There, 5-0. So I hit left trigger and X. So it leaned me back to the tail and then it did a grind. So you have a lot of different combinations that way, which are pretty cool. You want to start getting into like flips into grinds and all that, and it is really challenging, which is good. Like there's a lot of depth here because the controls are kind of I don't want to say awkward because it's not a bad thing. Like they're deep. There's some complication to it. So it's not like, you know, if you had like Tony Hawk controls, it would be really easy to just do the basic stuff you want and you would be done with the game in 5 minutes. But having to actually figure out, I'm trying to do a kickflip 5-0, for example. There we go. To try to actually spend time and figure out what you're doing is actually a little bit of a challenge. So that's pretty cool. You can also land in a manual. So if you hold A, there we go. So if you have to hold A for the landing button and then you just hit one of the triggers to lean either way. And there's really no balancing at this point, but I don't know if that's something that'll be in the future or not. We'll see. It is still a demo. This is the only stage at this point, so you can't really be too sure. But so far, this is a lot of fun. Once you figure out the controls, there is a lot of cool stuff to do. Oh, so yeah, when you set a menu like a marker, let me try to do that on purpose. This is kind of tough. Like in this mode where you're levitating, you actually like push around and it feels like you're skating. But let's try to actually use this thing. So you hit left bumper to spawn. There's a set the spawner, A to unghost, and then you can do, okay, so I bailed. So I have to hit back, then right bumper. There we go. Now I can try to do my trick. Nope, back, right bumper. Try to do my trick. Land it, all right. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Still getting used to all this stuff, but I've been playing it for a while and I have been having quite a bit of fun. Let's see if I can do a half cab flip down the, ow. Let's see if I can do, dang it. Half cab flip down the stairs. Oh, half cab heel was that? I don't know. Yeah, I would definitely go check this one out while it's still a free demo. I want to thank everyone for sending this to me. A lot of you guys did, and it was quite some time ago, but I've been just so booked. Not only with the channel, because I had a lot of stuff pre-done, but I've just been working like a madman. This month's probably going to be a little bit slow on the channel, unfortunately, but it is a good thing to have a heavy work month every now and then and actually make some money. So yeah, something else that I noticed. Okay, so this I've set up for a kickflip. If I hit left bumper, the board turns red because I'm gonna flip it harder. And it still just does a single kickflip. I don't know if they're adding in doubles and then potentially 360 doubles and all that kind of stuff or not. But that system is in place. It just doesn't seem like it does anything at the moment. I don't know if you just flip it faster and you catch it faster, but I don't know at this point. But I'm just gonna screw around with the game a little bit because it's fun. So let's see, what should I try to do? I like to try to do flips into grinds because that's one of the more challenging things you can do. Oh, you can also pump, supposedly. Yeah, like that's me pumping, which is cool. Like there's a lot of stuff built into this that you wouldn't really expect based on the way that it kind of looks like an old school Flash game or something, you know? It's actually really well done. All right, so let's see. Maybe I can do a fakie flip. All right, let me just try to set a spawner. I'm gonna do a fakie flip 5-0, all right? let's see. Am I still in fakie? No, I'm in switch now. Okay. I have to hit. No, not Y. Because if you hit Y while you're standing, you switch stance. If you hit Y while you're riding, you'll switch to. There we go. All right. I think I have to give myself a little more room. Oops, not zoom out. Come on. Come on. There we go. I'm having a little trouble keeping everything straight. You know what? Let's start over. I was in the wrong stance now. All right. Spawner. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a fakie flip. And then... all right. Fakie flip. 5-0. Okay, I think that was a fakie heel flip, actually, but I will count it because that's basically what I was doing. All right, what else can I do? I can do a 360 flip down a bank. That's not going to be it. It is a little bit tough to keep track of which trick you're going to be doing. Like, I think this is a 360 flip. Or should be a varial flip. Oops. I just rode off the end without hitting ollie. This should be a 360 flip. No, that was a laser. So it's kind of tough. So this is front side kick flip. Let's do, yeah, you can't respawn on a bank, which is kind of annoying. It'd be cool if you could just get speed by rolling down a bank instead of having to push. But so this one should be, it's really touchy sometimes. That's front side again. No, back side and kick flip. Here we go. This should be a 360 flip. I'm going to try to do it down these stairs, kind of. Yeah, okay. I did it. If you want to do a 360 flip and spin, then you'll get a big spin flip. Well, no. See, I keep doing the wrong tricks. I'm going to do a big spin flip. And it's got to be backside. See, I swear backside was on the bottom last time. Now I have to go onto the top of the stick, but... All right. Big spin flip. Yeah. Cool. Half cab flip. You know, this is just, it's kind of like Session to me in the way that there's not anything to do as far as challenges or anything, and yet it's still fun to just kind of screw around, just to give yourself your own challenges and just mess around with it. So I have been having a lot of fun with it. When you start up the game, you can actually do quite a bit. You can customize your character, which is interesting. Just your coloring, like your shirt and your shoes, and I think your board and skin and hair and like all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. And I don't even know how I got that to work, considering that the tricks are all on a sprite sheet, so I don't know if it generates a new one or how it works exactly. But you can customize that, and there's also a menu for all of the different parks. This is the only one right now. But, oh, I did a twisted flip. Twisted flip being a varial kickflip frontside body varial. I was trying to do like a frontside flip, but... so there is going to be a lot more stuff, and it seems like it's pretty stable as it is. I don't know what he's going to add in exactly. I think maybe the flip speed might be something... let's see. So we've got pumping, we've got turning, we've got... different grinds. See, yeah, there's hype mode. Trick memory. I'm not exactly sure how those work. If I mess around with that, I tend to like accidentally hit the music tracks and stuff. Like right now, for example. Trying to be careful with the music because although, I mean, it sounds good and I like it and everything, I don't know where the copyrights are and all that stuff, so I gotta be careful with playing any of it for you. But I would definitely check this out, because why not? Supposedly this was posted somewhere, like on the barracks or something. There was a reason why it suddenly got so many requests to play it. But I have a lot of hope for this project, because, you know, I think what I was trying to say a while ago, got a little bit distracted, was that the game is basically done, at least it could be done, from a gameplay and engine type of perspective, and if the guys working on it decided to just make a bunch of more stages and parks and all that kind of stuff, then this would already be a really good game. So I'm not sure what exactly else they have in mind. I don't know if maybe, because I've been trying to figure out that height mode thing. I don't know if I have to like get a certain amount of special or whatever before that kicks in, or if it's just not in the game yet or what. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this one, and do not expect to have any success landing any tricks for a while. I think I played this for maybe 2 hours before I genuinely had a relatively good idea what I was doing. Although I haven't landed anything in a while to prove that. It is a little bit tough to flip into a grind. So I don't know. There we go. I think one thing that's a little bit weird, like if you ollie and then you hit the land button, like you just slam back to the ground, but if you can float a little while first. So it's kind of tough to figure out the timing of like catching a trick. Do you try to float for a little while to get the most height? And then do you do all that kind of stuff? But that's kind of what I'm talking about with the depth. You know, like there is a lot going on. Ooh, fakey big flip. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. Speaking of big flips, I think that's such a stupid name, but there's this one time I was skating and this guy came up, just some random dude who lived nearby, and he started saying like, hey, I can do every trick on a skateboard. Why don't you suggest one and I'll do it? Like, I can do anything. And so I told him to do like a, nollie front feeble. I told him to do like a 360, like a kickflip 360, you know, like full body and board spin. And so he tried it like once and then he didn't even come close. You could tell he could skate, but it was just really weird. Like he wasn't nearly good enough to claim he could do everything. But then he started talking about how he was so good at doing the big flip. And I don't think I'd ever heard anyone actually use that term before. Of course, he tried it 10 times and he never landed it. But yeah, every time I hear that, I always think about that guy. All right, well, I think I've shown you about all there is, but I do want to try one more thing. I want to try to do a kickflip manual, because manuals are still pretty tough for me to figure out. So, nope. Let's do it. Kickflip manual. Here we go. That was neither of those things. All right, kickflip. Nope. Okay, manual, just to confirm, is trigger and A. Yeah, okay. If we're lucky, I might even kickflip out of it. Although that's a little bit tough because you have to hit the right stick to pick your trick while you're holding A. All right, come on. Maybe I'll just start with an ollie manual. No? I wonder if I have to catch my ollie and then do the manual control? No, I don't know. Yeah, this is one thing I haven't really gotten the hang of yet. Yeah, I tried like holding it that time. That one worked. So there is the balance meter on the very left on the bottom there. So, you know, like I can lean up or down. Okay, so I can lean before I ollie. All right, let's try that. All right, I'm gonna push, I'm gonna lean, I'm going to ollie. Okay, did not mean to zoom out. Okay, let's try that one more time. I gotta lean back, load the kickflip. Forgot to hit A. See, there is a lot going on here. All right, nope. Lean back, kickflip. Yeah, okay, kickflip out. No, I didn't miss it. All right. Well, that was cool. That was what I was going for. Let's try ollie nose manual. Okay, I'm gonna nollie flip out. Yeah. Yeah, this is really cool. I can't wait to see what other levels you could do on this thing now that it's all set, now that everything's working well. Yeah. I wonder if it'll be possible, because this level doesn't have any, to do stuff like curved rails and stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. But this game really reminds me of the Tony Hawk games on Game Boy Advance, because they were set up just like this. The stages were 2D, and there was no like camera control or anything. It was just like a picture of a level, kind of like this. And your character was 3D And I think it was actually like a 3D model and not just like this where, you know, it was all saved out as sprites or whatever. But as far as the gameplay is concerned, it was very similar. The only problem was that the Game Boy Advance only has like 4 buttons. It has A, B, and then the two shoulder buttons. And so it was really tough to do like Tony Hawk combos on something like that. But that game was a ton of fun, and I loved it. So, whoa, what was that? That was weird. So let me take a look at the menu because that was kind of different. So, all right, the spin speed. You see there with the right bumper, spin speed. Green is like normal for like a inward heel flip or something like that. Red is for a 360, and I did yellow, which put me at like 90. Which I'm not sure why you would do that. Maybe you can like, hold on. There we go. Maybe you can like do like a shifty or something. I'm not sure what that's for. Because you can't land it. It only goes to 90. So, oops. If I go 90, yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about with the depth. Like, oh, okay, so I just did a shifty, although I could have just done that. There's got to be some other purpose for that, like landing in a no slide or something. But that's just more depth that I hadn't figured out yet. So, pretty cool. I will put a link to this game in the description. The website for it, and if there's ever a full version or anything like that, I will try to cover that as well because I've been having a lot of fun. So check the game out when you get a chance, and until next time, I have a lot more videos on skateboard gaming. I've been trying to play every skateboarding game ever made, typically not counting all the phone ones because there's just too many of them, but most skateboard games that I can. I've done every PlayStation game. I've done a lot of PS2 games. I've done the vast majority of the Tony Hawk series. So check all that stuff out if this is the kind of thing you're interested in. I also do a lot of other videos in the skateboard world, teaching tricks and that type of thing. So if you're interested in skateboarding and skateboard gaming, check out the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. But until next time, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.